Hello everyone and welcome to A Fistful of Dice. My name is Matt and sitting immediately to my right, this handsome fellow, is Barker from Be a Better Game Master. He's joining me for another episode of Telltale Trinkets, the YouTube show where we roll some random trinkets from D&D 5th edition and come up with some inspirational stuff about them.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah, fun thing to do. Hopefully you'll glean some information from it as well. This is part two of a series that we're doing with the trinkets from Stone Rift, our new supplement over at AbsoluteTabletop.com that you can pick up right now. So
right now.
Go check it out. Go right now.
Right
Pause
now.
this video and go to AbsoluteTabletop.com and then come back and finish the video.
You should try to put a link right here.
I probably won't.
Probably not. Probably
That'll
not.
just be empty
Like,
space.
I don't edit these.
What do you think this is?
But the cool thing about today is that the last video we did, the other day when we were wearing the exact same clothes that we have on
Yeah,
now.
it was like a week ago.
Man, I'm really glad we had that coincidence. We did the labor clans, like blue collar thunder dwarves.
Yeah, the laborers.
What are we doing today?
We're doing the noble clans. These guys are the warrior elite of Stone Rift. If you're a Thunder Guard, if you're a Rift Ranger, if you're a nobleman in Stone Rift, you belong to these clans. So these trinkets are going to be a little bit higher
Yes.
up. They're going to be less about rustic objects and more about things of value.
They live in the upper part of Stone Rift.
Yes, yeah, the upper sprawl.
Yeah.
Like they have these really nice like apartments that overlook the canyon and things like that. So they live a pretty good life. So let's roll a trinket. And
Yeah,
what we
let's
get.
see how the trinkets compare. All right, here we go. And if it's a 2, I'm going to re-roll because I rolled the 2 last one.
Sounds good to me.
That's a 15.
15. 15 is a pair of stone braiding beads polished to a glassy sheen.
A pair of stone braiding beads.
Yes.
Polished to a glassy sheen.
So let me tell you what I immediately think of
Do
here. So I have written in Stone Rift that the female dwarves of Stone Rift, the women thunder dwarves, they don't have beards, but they have super awesome sideburns. They grow out their
nice.
sideburns and they style them like elaborately.
Oh, cool.
So what if there was a female dwarf who was known for her like luxurious sideburns that were long and like went down to here, and
Yes.
she braided them with these beautiful
I
stone beads.
Immediately, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long do the sideburns get?
So normally, I think it's like they get to like about here where it's like they're sticking out a little
Yep.
bit, and they maybe style them to be a little bit pointier, like a gentleman would do with his
Okay.
mustache.
We're talking Martin Van Buren.
Yes,
mutton chops. Cool.
Exactly.
Awesome.
But I think this particular dwarven woman has grown hers to a length where they're actually long coming off of her face.
So my question I'm going to ask you,
Yeah.
which everyone's going to think is scripted, but it's
Right.
not, how did she die? And who's holding them now? I mean, how did she die, and
Yeah.
why is this a trinket instead of why are they not on her
Okay,
sideburns?
I think I'm just going ham with this.
Go ham!
I think that she fell into the canyon. She
Oh,
died.
yeah.
She fell into the canyon and she died. And maybe her ghost is tied to these beads.
That's rad. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's what washed up or something.
Yeah, like some laborer is down in like the River Fjorn. He's like washing his pants or something.
Yeah.
Like he dirtied his pants at
Washing my pants in
Washing
River
my pants
Fjorn.
in the River Fjorn.
That's what people do in Stone Rift.
Yeah.
There's like little leash law when it comes
Yeah.
to washing your pants.
No wonder, Matt.
None.
You gotta go down to the river.
No one's got
Washing
clothes.
his pants, all of a sudden he goes, "Say, what are those little glittery things?"
Yeah.
He scoops them out, a handful of these beautiful, like marbled stone beads that are just polished. I'm talking like rock tumbler,
Yeah.
like polish, you know.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, what are these?" And maybe he puts them in his beard. Oh, I'm gonna braid my beard. I'm gonna go out.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the wife out tonight. We're gonna go
Yep.
to get a steak. We're gonna go get a ram steak at the curtain. But then he gets haunted by this ghost of this woman.
Maybe they give him luck or something. Like
Yeah.
I like the idea that they give him a benefit, but
Oh,
at a cost.
Like things start going really well.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes like moving on up to the high rises, gets a nice apartment. He and his wife are like, hey, maybe we can move up into the noble class here.
Maybe it's like a monkey's paw type of thing where
Yeah.
everything comes at like if you don't get what you want, like you're like, oh man, maybe he gets $1 million, but it's
Yeah.
because his elite father died.
Yeah,
And
and he inherited all the money. Yeah, or he gets a really nice
$1 million, by the way, that's Stone Rift currency.
$1 million, $1 million American dollars.
$1 million American
As
Stone
Tim
Rift
Carney
dollars,
would say.
as Tim Carney would say.
He moves up into high rises only because someone was murdered and their apartment is vacant.
Yes, exactly.
Things like that. So I like that because it's like a blessing and a curse.
Yep. Other people are paying for your blessing.
Because of the negative spiritual energy that is
I love
involved
it.
in these sideburn
I love it.
beads.
But as if that weren't broody enough.
Yeah, let's
As
take it
in the
even
last-
darker.
I like the idea of having, like, playing a character whose wife or husband, whoever used these beads, because I imagine maybe the men of Stone Earth would do these elaborate beards.
Definitely, yeah.
With beads and braids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Almost like a Gimli style where you bring it down into 2 different braids.
Yeah.
What happened to your significant other so that you now have these beads and not your significant other?
Right. Okay. Yeah, so let's say it's a woman. She's carrying these beads.
Okay.
They belong to her husband. He served in the Thunder Guard.
Yes.
Was killed in a raid from giants, from burrow goblins, something like that. She has since taken up his post. She wears his armor and serves in the Thunder Guard.
Awesome.
And she carries these beads that he wore in his beard. She carries them to remember him by.
That's awesome. Maybe the beads are like his rank insignia or something. His old rank insignia.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, and she carries them, and she, like, whenever, before a battle, people notice her just kind of like rattling these things around in her hand.
It's like stress.
Yeah. These little beads that she's rolling around in her hand. I like that.
And when I think these beads, I think you can go something up to this.
Oh,
big.
they're big.
Like, they're big
because
beads.
I mean, these are big, great big bushy beards.
Great big bushy beards. They spring up out of the ground. Random line from Lord of the Rings. Everybody loves it. Like button. See, this is how it works.
That's how it works. You just netted me another 1,000 subscribers,
That's it.
dude. Thank you.
Tolkien's going to be on the phone here pretty soon.
Yeah, Chris Tolkien is going to call me up.
CT is what we call him.
You call him CT?
I call him Kit.
You call him Kit?
I call him. He lets me call him Kit.
I call him Chrissy.
Oh.
Or Chrissy Toke.
Chrissy McToke.
Chrissy McToke. Is
That
what I call Christopher Tolkien.
Now the dislikes have come in.
No disrespect to the Tolkien estate.
No disrespect.
No.
Absolutely not. Tolkien's dope.
He is.
He's
Hang
dope.
on. Chrissy Toke's calling me right now.
He's Chrissy Toke.
He's got his own ringtone.
That's Star Wars.
That's not Lord of the Rings.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. So,
awesome.
these stone beads, I think that's some good ideas to use them.
Yeah, I like to get super broody with my stuff.
Totally.
And I like it when each player picks something that, like, the reason I love the trinkets is because as a player, you should spotlight other players by asking them what their trinkets are.
Yes,
and then they go into soliloquy and describing.
Yeah, I mean, trinkets can be incredibly important. Let's talk about how Sander and the Provoker's Bleak Rattle, his trinket is very important. I'm not going to spoil it for people, but it's become a super important...
His trinket is the MacGuffin.
It's the MacGuffin of the campaign, exactly.
I love it.
I think the big reason why trinkets are so important is because you think of any other piece of equipment, a sword, a staff. It's obvious why the person has that. They need to protect themselves. They need to earn a living. But a trinket, a cork from a wine bottle, a broken compass, it's like, why would they carry that around? With the limited space of an adventurer, why would they carry that around?
And you can attribute mechanics to something like these beads.
Yeah, totally.
And that's cool. But you can just have it in your mind what the story is, the flavor. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me on Telltale Trinkets.
I'm happy I flew out again this week.
Yeah, and we'll fly out again maybe next week, and we'll do another one, huh?
You just signed me up to do another one in 5 minutes?
No,
I mean, next
didn't.
week. Oh, no!
That's it.
And cut.